So welcome everyone to today's sales call training for Sales Automation Society. Thank you all for being here. We're going to be doing a full live role play of a recruitment sales call from start to close, so you can see exactly how this plays out in the real world. Where's everyone tuning in from? Just drop a wee message in the chat.
Just my skyscraper in Dubai. I don't know if you can tell. That's where I'm tuning in from. How about yourself, Sean?
Oh, you're looking good, look good. Yeah, just in the penthouse suite up in Dubai as well.
You know
Not
how
seeing
it be. Sales automation all the way. Actually, he's from Italy. Yo, worldwide reach.
Nice. We've got Mark from Manchester. Nice.
Let's go.
Right, so let's get into it. So today we're going to be looking at the recruitment niche. Right?
Yeah.
Quick context overall, we act as a connector between recruitment agencies and companies that are actively hiring. We identify businesses with open roles, then introduce them to recruitment agencies who have the right candidates to fill those roles. So essentially, the recruitment agency places a candidate, they earn a placement fee, we facilitated the warm introduction that made it happen. For today's role play, we're going to be using an IT recruitment company as our example, but the exact same framework applies to, like, healthcare recruitment, legal recruitment, finance recruitment, whatever niche you're working on. So how you got on this call, the pipeline from scratch. So firstly, you collect the email from CEOs, CTOs, founders, and CFOs at recruitment agencies, and you can do that scraping through Apollo. Send an outbound email campaign offering warm introductions to companies that are actively hiring. You can do this through Instantly or Plus5. CEOs of recruitment agencies reply saying yes, they want the intros. You book them onto a sales call, which is exactly what we're doing right now. And just a quick tip, you can do this all through Claude Code. I literally just typed in the Claude Code, build me a lead scraper that finds recruitment agencies, CEOs, and pulls their emails, from LinkedIn. It gave me the full Python script. I tested it, it worked, and this is how we built the prospecting engine behind this whole system. So the prospect on this call, who is it? It's a CEO of an IT recruitment agency. What they have a benchmark of candidates, data engineers, software engineers, DevOps, and so forth. Their core problem is they have the talent there, but they can't get it in front of companies that are actively hiring. Their pipeline is completely dry. How they got here, they replied to our outbound email saying they wanted the warm intros to hiring companies. So our value proposition, we connect you directly to companies that are actively hiring in your space right now, so your candidates get placed faster and your revenue goes up. That is the aim. We're not vendors. We are warm intro service with live, verified hiring demand. We only make introductions when there's a genuine match. So the email that got them onto the call. So this is a copy that I created. So we're just going to use Ash for an example. So I say, hey Ash, I can introduce you to companies that are actively hiring in your space right now. This week alone, I've identified 4 tech startups in the Northwest looking for software engineers. Recently connected a recruiter to 5 companies hiring these exact roles, resulted in 2 placements within 30 days. Want me to share details and make intros? So it creates curiosity with a great opening line with no hard sell. It signals that you have intel and connections working behind the scenes, and it ends with an opening question that gets them to reply so you can book them onto a call. And by the way, I didn't even write this email myself. I had the help with Claude Code to write me a cold email for a recruitment agency CEO that creates curiosity and gets them to reply. Don't make it sound like a pitch. It came back with 10 variations, and I picked the best one and A/B tested it. That's the workflow.
Okay.
So when you're moving into a sales call, I even use Claude Code to help me understand the companies better by doing a 5-minute research. So before every single call, I open Claude Code, paste in the company's LinkedIn page and the website, and say, give me 5 conversation starter questions I can use within the first 5 minutes of a sales call with the company CEO. It takes 30 seconds. Shows up on the call knowing more about their business than they expect. So Ash, let's get straight into it. Can you hear me okay?
Let's do it. Yes.
Good. So thanks for jumping on call. I saw you're based in Manchester. How's the market been there for you recently?
It's been all right, to be honest. It's picking up after a slow first quarter, but companies are starting to open up, and I think it's going to go better from here.
Yeah, it makes sense that Q1 freeze was everywhere. We've been seeing the same thing from the hiring side. So what kind of roles are you guys placing the most right now? Still heavily software engineering, or has that shifted at all?
Yeah, you're right to point out software engineers, but mostly data engineers as well. That's our bread and butter. And we do some DevOps, but data engineering is where we make the most consistent money.
Got you. Yeah, that aligns with what we're seeing on the demand side. Data engineering is everywhere right now. So ask a quick question before we get into detail. What actually made you jump on the call today?
Honestly, it was when you said you'd already connected a recruiter to 5 companies and got 2 placements in 30 days. I wanted to know how you're actually doing that and whether it's legit,
So just a quick pause here. This is a great opening start to the sales call. He's skeptical, but he's curious. That's exactly where you want them. Do not over-explain just yet before you move into the discovery call. So the next section is the discovery. So you're trying to find your pain. You're not pitching just yet. You're still diagnosing. Think of this as a doctor finding symptoms before prescribing. So the 5 discovery questions I'm about to ask, I built those in Claude Code. I literally just said, I sell warm introductions to recruitment agencies. Give me 5 discovery questions that uncover pain, qualified budget, and set up the pitch naturally. It gave me 15. I kept the best 5 and turned them into this framework. So when you're on the discovery section, you say, yeah, I appreciate that. And I'll show you exactly how it works. But before I do, just so I can make sure this is even right fit for you, I just need to ask a couple of questions first.
Yeah, go for it.
So what type of roles makes you the most amount of money and causes you the least amount of headaches?
Without a doubt, 100% data engineers. Like, the fee is solid, and once we have a good candidate, the placement is pretty smooth as well. Software engineers are decent too, but clients would be a bit more picky about them. But data engineers doesn't really seem to happen that way.
Right, that makes sense. So we had a look at your website and saw you specialize in placing data engineers with tech companies. How are you actually filling your pipeline right now in terms of getting in front of these companies that are hiring?
I don't know, Sean, it's a bit tough. I'm mostly doing LinkedIn outreach and a bit of word of mouth from previous clients and stuff. That always helps. But we've tried a couple of job boards as well, but the ROI on those really hasn't been great,
Okay, and are you happy with how that's working for you right now? Like, how many new client introductions are you getting per month from that outreach?
If I'm being honest, Sean, not enough. Maybe 1 or 2 if we're lucky, but we've got a few good candidates sitting on the bench right now, and I can't get them in front of the right people fast enough,
So just a quick tip, the door is open right now. He just told us the pain point that candidates on the bench, not enough introductions. So what you say next is, right, so I understand you have a strong bench of data engineers right now. You know they're replaceable, but the bottleneck is actually getting in front of the companies that are actively hiring. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the problem.
Perfect. So when it comes to the companies that you want us introduced to, are we talking UK based, remote friendly, or do you place internationally as well?
Predominantly the UK at the minute, London and Manchester mainly, but we do some remote companies as well if they're hiring across the UK. That works too.
Got it. And in terms of the types of companies, are you looking to scale up, big enterprise, or does it not matter as long as they're hiring?
I know scale-up sort of startups and mid-market are a sweet spot. We did dabble a lot with enterprise, but the closing time takes a while.
Perfect. That's actually really helpful. So let me show you exactly how our system works and why I think we can solve this for you. So
Perfect.
quick recap on the discovery section, just a quick tip. For the first question, I've taken control of the frame immediately, with the solid question of saying what type of roles make you the most amount of money and cause you the least amount of headache. Then for the second question, I'm just trying to understand their pipeline. And I said, they mostly use LinkedIn outreach and a bit of word of mouth from previous clients. We've tried a couple of job boards, but honestly, the ROI on those haven't been great. So you just know that they have a pain point there. So we qualify the pain by saying, are you happy with that? And how many client introductions are you getting per month? We're trying to open up the door just to see if there's anything else from there. And, he's saying there's not enough, maybe 1 or 2 a month. So we know that there's a pain point there. The door is open. So we can now pitch and sell the system. So I'd say, so here is how our system works. And this is specifically built for recruitment agencies like yours who have strong talent but need a faster route to active hiring companies. So step one, define your ideal client. First thing we do is sit down with you and nail your ICP. So in your case, that's the UK-based scale-ups and mid-market tech companies hiring data engineers, ideally moving fast. We get crystal clear on the role, industry, company size, geography, and the deal size. That means every intro we make is warm, relevant match, not a cold spray and pray. So a quick tip, the ICP document we put together for every client, Claude Code builds that as well. I paste that in with the client told me in the discovery, just like the conversation we just had, and I say, turn this into a structured ICP profile, targeting criteria, red flags, and outreach angles. Comes back within 2 minutes, which used to take me an hour. So there's a quick tip, what you can do to use Claude Code and mix it in to help your sales calls. So step 2 is research and outreach. Once we know your ICP, we can go and build a live verified target list of companies that are actively hiring your space right now. Not companies that hired 6 months ago, companies with open roles on the market today. We run outbound on your behalf using proven messaging, and we qualify interest and intent before making any introduction. So quick tip, the outreach copy, every single email sequence we run is built in Claude Code. I literally just say, here's the ICP, here's the pain point, write me a 5-step cold email sequence that gets reply from hiring managers, and it does it. Then I take the sequence into our sending tool, and it's live the same day. The entire outreach infrastructure runs on Claude Code. Step 3, we qualify and connect. This is the bit that saves you time. We only pass you a company when they have confirmed they're actively hiring. They're open to using a recruitment partner, and they match your ICP. Do not spend an hour on a call with someone who is not hiring. You only speak to people who are ready to move. And again, a quick tip with this as well, even the qualification checklist we run through every company before we make an introduction, again, is built on Claude Code. I said I need 12-point checklist to qualify whether a company is a good fit for a recruitment intro. Took it, refined it, turned it into a Notion template, and that's the whole ops stack right there. Step 4, deliver warm introductions monthly. We will deliver a consistent pipeline of warm intros for you directly. Typically 2 to 4 intros per month, depending on your package. We get the company name, the contact, the role they're hiring for, and a brief on why they're a good fit. You take it from there and do what you're good at, placing the candidate and earning the fee. Just a quick tip as well, when you go through your system, you just do a pause and a check-in. Do not keep pitching into silence. I just want to check, does that make sense so far? Like, does that system solve the problem you described?
Yeah, that sounds like exactly what we might need, to be honest. You did mention some targeting in the ICP, which I really liked, but how targeted is it though? Are you just blasting emails to anyone, or how are you targeting it to our niche?
Yeah, it's completely tailored. We don't do the shotgun outreach. Every company we target has been qualified against your ICP, and we use verified data contact. So we are actually landing in front of decision makers, not going into void. That's why the placement rate we see for our recruitment clients is solid, because the intro quality is high. So now what you want to do here is tie it back to their specific pain point from discovery and personalize it. And this is why it's important to listen on sales calls as well. So like you told me earlier, you've got data engineers on the bench right now. That is actually a great position to be in, because we can go and target companies with live data engineering roles, qualify them, and get you in front of them within the first few weeks. Those candidates do not have to sit there waiting.
Yeah, that sounds, I like that. But what does it actually look like week to week, though?
That's a great question, Ash. So in week 1, we do your ICP onboarding call, build your target list, and set up the outreach infrastructure. Weeks 2 to 4, the campaign is running, and we start qualifying companies. By month 1, you should have your first 1 to 2 warm intros landing and build it from there. Month 2 and 3, the pipeline gets richer as we learn what's converting.
Okay, that sounds really cool.
That's how you go through the system. You can kind of have fun with it as well. You can have your proposal template, and you can share your screen and talk the potential client through the system. And it gives them a clear picture of what you're trying to sell. So once you've done the system, you have to move on to the close. So Ash, based on everything we have covered, you've got a strong bench of data engineers. Your current pipeline is giving you maybe 1 to 2 intros a month if you're lucky, and the gap is getting in front of companies that are actively hiring. Does that sound like the kind of system you'd be looking for?
Yeah, honestly, this could be what we need. How much would it cost me, though?
So your investment is 1,500 as a 3-month setup fee, and then 150 per warm intro that we'll deliver to you. So if we deliver 2 warm intros for you, then that's 6 introductions within 3 months. And even if those 2 convert into placement at your average fee, you've made your money back 10 times over.
Okay, that sounds reasonable. How is the timeline for getting started? What does that look like?
So we move forward today. We get started on it this week. I'll send you over the proposal, the contract, on the onboarding doc by the end of the day. You review and sign, and we do your ICP onboarding call within the next 2 to 3 days, and the campaign is live by week 2. So realistically, you could have your first warm introduction within the first 3 to 4 weeks from now.
That sounds good. Let me have a look at the proposal, and we can take it forward from there.
So just a quick tip there as well. I do not write the proposals manually anymore. I used to. I used to fill in a form with the client details, but now I just paste that into Claude, and it spits out a formatted, fully personalized proposal in about 90 seconds. And I built a template once, and now it takes literally no time. That's the business. So then you'll say, of course, I'll get that over to you today, but just so I'm clear, is there anything in what we have covered that feels unclear, or that you want me to adjust before I send a proposal? I want to make sure it reflects exactly on what you need.
No, I think it makes sense. You can send it over, Sean.
Perfect. So if it all makes sense on paper, we get started this week, start building your pipeline. Or you can keep relying on LinkedIn outreach and hope for the referrals to come in. But based on what you've told me, you've got the candidates sitting there on the bench, and that the money is sitting on the table. Let's get them placed.
No, I'm with you. Let's get them placed and send the proposal over so we can get started.
Brilliant. I'll fix up the proposal and the contract along with the payment link and get it over today. It's really good speaking to you, Ash. Pleasure doing business.
Wonderful speaking to you, Sean, too. Looking forward to working together.
So just to conclude, let's do a breakdown of the call and look at some of the key lessons to take away. Small talk is really not an option. Within the first 5 to 6 minutes of the introduction is where you start to build a rapport for them to open up the discovery. If you skip it and go straight into a pitch mode, that's when you'll lose them and scare them away. Discovery is where you win. The reason the pitch landed is because I found the exact pain point first, where he told me he had candidates on the bench and was getting 1 or 2 intros a month. I just reflected back on the pain and showed him the solution. So when you find the pain, you got to let him say the pain, and that's where you can get the sell. Does that make sense? So thirdly, sell the system, not the service. I did not say I will send you some contacts. I walk through a 4-step system. You know how I say system? System is where we got to specify, because you want to try and convince them there's a system behind the scenes. That makes it feel structured, professional, and like something that actually works, and how you actually connect them together, because you're the bridge that they need to get over to connect. So step 4 is price with confidence. I did not apologize for the price or add a load of caveats. I anchored it to the ROI immediately. If they place one candidate, it pays for itself. And finally, the close is a decision point. I give them a clear binary. Start this week and build the pipeline, or keep doing what is not working. That is not pressure. That is clarity. And again, it kind of goes back to, links back to the discovery section a bit, where you're finding that pain point, and you're actually telling them it's pain point when you're trying to close as well. You're saying, we can build and start doing it this week, or you can just continue doing what we were doing before, which wasn't working. So, it's a good way to psychologically, let him tell you that he needs it without him actually saying it. So a quick tip around all that, with the whole debrief, the framework I just walked you through, I asked Claude Code. I just ran a cold outbound sales call in the recruitment niche. Here's a transcript. Pull out the 5 most important lessons for a junior salesperson. It identified every single one of these points faster than I could ever type up myself. That's your post-call review process right there. So this is how you build the system using Claude Code. Firstly, you got to scrape email addresses from Apollo for the likes of CEOs, CTOs, and founders of recruitment companies. Then put the lead list into a Google Sheet. Then upload the Google Sheet into Claude Code to write a 3 follow-up email sequence. Then add the 3 email sequence from Claude Code into an email campaign sender using Instantly or Plus5. Then when you send out emails, you want to be sending out around 500 a day. Then you'll get a reply from a CEO or founder of a recruitment company. Then you ask them to get on the sales call, and then you close.